Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel with a new video about World of Tanks, and today I have another replay from my backlog just for you. It is a game in my AMX ELC tier 5 French scout. It is just an amazing tank because it is so fast and it has this overpowered gun which is extremely unusual for a tank of this tier and of this type. Of course, it is counterbalanced by the fact that the gun handling values are just terrible and you don't have a fully rotating turret, so it is not such an easy tank to play, but when it is played properly, it can be devastating. And in this matchup, I am going to face some tier 8 vehicles, and even in that case, it can still be extremely deadly. Um, I do not have binoculars installed on this game, and after playing this game I decided to install my binoculars to replace probably the ventilation. I will have to check out on that, but I think I will run with binoculars, possibly optics, and of course the gun rammer. Well, you can choose between optics and ventilation. I think both are valid options. For sure you want to have either optics or binoculars. This will depend on your gameplay style, probably both if you want to have the best view range in the game. Well, it depends on your playstyle, but after this game I decided to install uh, binoculars just because from here I will have some difficulties spotting people in E0 just because they will be behind bushes and trees and it will be, I think, slightly beyond my view range if you take into account the camouflage rating. So from here I can only spot enemies that will move past the E0 position towards ours. So it is not so useful, but I can't really afford to take risks. The matchmaking is certainly not kind with me. So here, first target the AMX Chaffee. I spotted him just now and not before because even if he was in the open, he has a very good camouflage. It is another French scout. My first shot went in, and now I don't really have good angle on him, so I had to destroy the barricade just in front of me. Second shot went in, perfect, but I got spotted in the process. So now the AMX Chaffee is dead, which is actually very good news for me because he could spot me quite easily. I went in all directions to avoid enemy fire, and as I anticipated, someone tried to shoot me from the E0 position, and I am not going back exactly where I was just because first, there could be some blind shots, and second, there's this Cheeto tier 6 Japanese medium tank just too close for my comfort, and I decided to stay away. So I am not probably the one spotting him. As you can see, I am not getting any assist ribbon. It's alright, I just want him dead, and I will be safe to go back either to my previous position now or to move forward. But I think that with the current configuration, if you look at the minimap, a lot of enemies are stuck in A6, A7. We know that at least one of them is in E0, and it would not surprise me to see a lot of campers in the enemy team. This is why I'm currently taking risks and asking for cover from my teammate. But 3 of them are already in position, so my spotting on E0 now could be very efficient providing that the enemies don't rush me. So yeah, it is kind of a gamble because if one enemy rush me, it is very likely that he could one-shot me before my teammates could take him down. So I could stay back or try my luck with those enemies. And as you can see, there's plenty of them. But with the amount of shells coming in from my teammates, it kind of discouraged them to rush me. So instead, they decided to just defend their position, but they are just taking shots after shots after shots. I tried my luck myself. It went, I think, into the ground because the accuracy of the AMX is just plain terrible, even at that range, and the aiming time is just poor. So it's alright, I'm not dealing damage myself, but as you can see, my assist ribbons are just stacking up, and it's perfectly fine. Actually, I believe this is my role as a low tier scout in this game. I believe that as long as I'm responsible for damage and as long as I'm still alive, I'm doing my job properly. This is what I think. So let's not rush too much forward. I'm already taking some risk because the enemy artillery could decide to switch target and aim at me, so I'm pretty sure the artillery will be in A0. So this is why I am just checking the sky constantly. Just in case, you know, because I don't want to take any risk. So I'm checking the sky, see where the shots are coming from, and where they are heading to, because if the artillery is pointing towards another ally, this is fine by me, you know. So I'm still racking some assist damage. Now the enemies were forced to retreat because they were also harassed by my teammate in E7. I don't know which heavy tank it is, I didn't check. I just sneak a shot into this tiger pit turret, and well, I don't really have targets anymore. I keep moving back and forth, and I always try to appear from a different position just in case enemies in A7, A8 would be pre-aimed at me, because you know, in tier 8 games it is very likely that if someone's uh, shoot at you with a name shot, he would probably penetrate you, and a lot of them has guns that can one-shot you. So just to prevent dying very stupidly, just make sure that you never appear at the exact same position. Wanted to take a shot at this artillery because, you know, it's always my guilty pleasure to shoot them, but our Black Prince actually ammo-racked it, which is, well, good news. One artillery down. Only 4 enemies left, and the game is at that point pretty much won unless we massively screw up, but I don't believe that it could happen. This AMX was spotted for a long time, decided to try to take my chance at him. I am not a sniper, but I got my RNG, you know, with me to claim my first and possibly unique kill of this game, but it doesn't matter. You know, I have 26 assist ribbons, which is perfect. Now I should move up. I am too far away from my targets, and my shots are very likely to bounce just because it could reach a very odd location or just, you know, end up in the ground. So I should move up. I took too much time in this location. I planted one in the back of this 112, a Chinese tier 8 heavy tank, but you know, it was not even a guaranteed shot, you know. With my luck in general, I think that I should have moved forward earlier. Anyway, this is the last remaining enemy, trying to get one last shot in, and that will be all. So whenever you are bottom tier like I just was in a scout, you can still have a huge impact in the game by spotting, and for that you need to stay alive, and for that you need to consider really carefully all of your options and take the one that has a good ratio between risk and reward. So that's it, another mastery in my AMX ELC, a very fun tier 5 French Scout tank. So I hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, well, please consider giving it a like and to subscribe to my channel. And well, that will be all for today, so thanks for watching and see you in my next video. Cheers!